welcome to My Life of Coasters and welcome to Alton Towers for the first day of the 2026 season. Yes, it's opening day at Alton Towers, one of my favourite days of the season here at Towers. First chance to get back inside the park, get on some of the rides. It's about 11 o'clock, I got here a bit late and the monorail's not working, so it was a real faff to get into the park, but excited to go and get on. Yeah, first ride at Alton Towers of the season. Yeah, I think starting on Nemesis would be a pretty good one. My favourite coaster at the park, so yeah, let's head down and get on to this one. It says it's at 45 minutes.
Sedation levels decreasing.
Well, I just queued up about 40 minutes for a Row 7 ride on Nemesis. First ride of the season here at Alton Towers. Really enjoyed that one. Love getting on Nemesis. Today will also be, or should be, my first time getting on Toxicator. I didn't get to do it last year, so I'm excited for this, but I'm not going to do it just yet because it has got a queue time of 40 minutes. Now, of course, I'm not expecting to get on very much today. As it's opening day, it's going to be very busy. And the queue for Galactica is advertised at 75 minutes. Yeah, I just checked the queue line out for Galactica, and I'd say it's probably pretty accurate at 75 minutes, just by looking and having a guess. I do think it's got a single rider on there now, though, so maybe I'll check that out later. But I think now it's time to head outside of Forbidden Valley. Yeah, gone for single rider with Oblivion, as it had a main queue of 60 minutes. Well, that is Oblivion all ticked off. Really good ride on there. It wasn't even the front row, it was the road just behind, but the view's pretty similar because it's got like staggered seating in height, so yeah, you do get to see over the front row, so I didn't mind that. The queuing experience, not so much. During that queue I did single rider, which wouldn't have been a bad queue in itself, but unfortunately due to electrical storms within 15 miles I believe it was of Alton Towers, it did mean that yeah, there was a bit of a delay on there, and it took quite a while. It's been nearly an hour and a half since I joined that single rider, and I think the delay was about 20 minutes, so yeah, probably took about 70 minutes in single rider for Oblivion, so it is a very busy day here at Alton Towers. I should also add that was every single outdoor attraction here at Alton Towers that closed during that storm, so it wasn't just Oblivion. There was like 3 rides left open: Curse at Old Manor, Gangster Granny, and there's another one, but I've forgotten it. Making my way into the dark forest now to have a ride on Rita, I think, because it's the shortest queue for a coaster in the park at 60 minutes. Yeah, 60 minutes. That is the shortest queue. But anyway, I'm going to go and do it. I hope it's on 2 trains. If it's on 1 train, I'm not going to bother. Yeah, over here at Rita, the queue's massive, so there's no way I'm doing that. Not sure where we're going to head next. Yeah, I saw Toxicator had a short queue on the app, so I've decided to make the treacherous walk through the bottom of the gardens. but it's actually really nice and peaceful down here. And welcome to Forbidden Valley. That was quite the walk. Well, it's taken me that long to get over from Rita. I've come over here for a short queue and it's closed. But yeah, it's testing, so should be able to get on. It's got a big old queue though. That is not 20 minutes. Toxicator's just reopened. I sat over there waiting for it to reopen. I don't know if that was a good choice, but everything else is super busy and I've come quite a long way down to Toxicator.
Containment of Toxicator fluid substances have been stabilised.
They were letting one rider through a ride cycle and I just thought this single rider queue, because it's a flat ride, it's going to take all day, so I've walked away. I'll come back later. As far as I'm aware, Galactica is on one train and the single rider queue was quite big, so I've left that as well. Wow, well I cannot fault the team over on Nemesis Reborn there. The operations were flawless. It took 35 minutes even though it was advertised at 50. Same as earlier, great operations on there.
Loose items in containment crates in front of you prior to processing. Containment crates once you reach the centrifuge platform. Eating, drinking and smoking is forbidden during your...
Toxicator, single rider, took like 20 minutes. Yeah, my thoughts on it. It's a good ride and the views were really good. I was on the Galactica facing side. Obviously if you're upside down you're facing this way. But no, I enjoyed it. I do like the theming around it. In my opinion it's not quite as good as Talican at Phantasialand. It didn't feel as intense. But there was more hanging on that one and less of the flips. I prefer flips on those sort of things. I didn't mind it, don't get me wrong, it's not my favourite flat ride to be honest, but yeah, I still really like the theming. It's a good ride. It's not one I'd lap though like I do with Talican because it is just more hanging. I prefer the continuous flips. There was one sort of thing where we got a continuous 3 flips I think, but yeah, not anything spectacular. The fountains weren't working, so I'd like to come back do it in the summer when the fountains are on. But yeah, that was Toxicator, my first ever ride on it. I'd say it's a great ride visually off ride and it's fun to do. I'll probably do it once a visit if it's got a short queue, but yeah, I'll wait ages for it. That is Toxicator. Very good for what we've got in the UK though. I will say there was 6 people in front of me in single rider. If it's got a big single rider queue, don't do it. Go to the main queue because apparently the main queue moves pretty quickly. Like now it says it's 25 minutes. Who knows, maybe I'll do it later. Down from Toxicator to the Curse of Alton Manor with an advertised 15-minute queue for what in my opinion is the UK's best dark ride. This opened exactly 2 years ago to this weekend and I fell in love with it back then and I can't wait to have another ride on this incredible dark ride. So just done the Curse of Alton Manor. Yeah, it was a really good ride on there, as it always is. Barely a queue, maybe 10 minutes. It's got a very high throughput, really good theming, and all the effects are working. And now I'm off to do Bluey, or not off to do it, but off to have a look at the construction on Bluey the Ride in CBeebies Land. Yeah, it looks like Bluey the Ride is testing. I just saw it go around and it's the first time I've ever seen it, so excited to get up close. We'll go into CBeebies Land around here and have a look. Hopefully we'll be able to catch it going round. Yeah, Bluey the Ride, not going to get to see it in any more detail than here because CBeebies Land's closed. I assume it closes at 5, but yeah, I didn't know that. Anyway, going to go down and do like 13, Rita, Smile or something like that. Spinball has got a 45-minute queue, which is much more reasonable than it was earlier, and it's also got single rider. Single rider is just in that lane off to the right-hand side over there, and it doesn't look too bad, to be fair. But no, I don't really want to do it. I don't like Spinball enough to really queue for it that much. So I'm off to go and do one of the big coasters. Yeah, a bit gutted about not being able to see Bluey though. Over here at the Smiler now, it'll probably be dark by the time I get on. It's about 5:30, so it'll probably be about an hour queue, I think. Yeah, to be fair, it's quite cloudy, so it does seem it's getting dark already. So I've just come off of a sort of nearly dark ride on the Smiler. Yeah, it's road 3, but I have to say, I think that might have been the smoothest ride I've ever had in it, so I really enjoyed that. Normally I don't like the Smiler that much, but just after doing that, I think I'll definitely do it more. It was quite enjoyable. Just keep your head forward. And yeah, I did quite enjoy the Smiler there. The queue was pretty much exactly 60 minutes. It was 60 minutes to the merge point, but yeah, that's not too bad at all for a ride on the Smiler. Yeah, Spinball Whizzer has a queue of 15 minutes, so going to jump on this quickly. Got about 70 minutes left until the queues are scheduled to close. Yeah, it's dropped right off the queue for Spinball Whizzer, and Spinball has just broken down, so let's go somewhere else. Yeah, unfortunately 13 is closed this evening. It's been closed most of the day, so not that surprising. Gonna go on to Rita now. I don't think the queue's gonna be too bad. It says 45 minutes, but we'll have to see. Rita done on row 5 there. The queue took about half an hour, which isn't too bad. It said it was going to be 40 minutes, so don't mind that. I've got about 20 minutes now to get over to Wicker Man, join the queue before the end of the day. It's advertised at 80 minutes at the minute, so it's going to be a late finish, probably after 9 o'clock, but excited to get a night ride on Wicker Man. Also my first ride in a year on there, so yeah, that'd be pretty good. Enjoyed my ride on Rita though. Always like doing Rita. I haven't done it in, it's going to be like 19 months or something now, and good to do it at night. The lighting seems pretty good though, even on the temporary generator lights. They have got some coloured bulbs, so that adds a bit of atmosphere. Bit of an awkward time between there and my ride on Wicker Man, so going to take it slow. There is also a light show to see at the front of the towers, so I am going to head there, see if I can catch that. got about 5 minutes left until the end of the day, so let's go and do Wicker Man. I don't know what the queue time is. Last time I checked it was saying 100 minutes. Oh, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty busy one. Do you know what? I might not wait until the very end. I might just get in the queue, to be fair, because it's going to be late enough. It's going to be one of the last trains. Yeah, you know what? That's a massive queue. Let's just get straight in to the queue line. Yeah, we've got 4 minutes until the queue closes. There's loads of people hanging around though, waiting. So I've just finished with a ride on the Wicker Man there. Yeah, the queue didn't take as long as I thought it would in the end, 1 hour and 20 minutes, so it's about 9:25 now. That was good to get on there. It was a mid-train ride, but still, really enjoyed that. It's always worth doing when the park is open this late. Join the Wicker Man queue 5 minutes before the park shuts. There's no fast track, so that queue flies. Yeah, it's a really good ride to finish out on. Love the Wicker Man. I think it might be my favourite coaster here now, because I do still like Nemesis, but yeah, Wicker Man got a lot of airtime, very intense, a good sense of speed, so yeah, I enjoyed that. Now, obviously 9:25, the park's been shut an hour and a half, so heading out, gonna try and get the monorail replacement bus back to where we're parked. It was cutting it really fine. This bus, the last bus, is meant to be in like 2 minutes. Here's a look, another look at the yellow corkscrew track. Really like this. Green supports, I think it fits a lot better than the purple did, to be honest. I like having the original one. Well, that bus service was nice and easy. It picked up, the last bus is at 9:30. You just walk out, it's just by the monorail station on the sort of car park bit. Really easy. Took probably about the same sort of time as the monorail. It's a lot less scenic and a lot less fun, but hey ho. It's good until the monorail is up and running again. I'm glad they're running it, because with the way Alton Towers do a lot of things, I wouldn't necessarily expect them to. So good thing about that, and I mean, it's an advantage if you are staying at the hotels as well. Just heading back to the car now. Been a good day here at Alton Towers. All things considered, it's been absolutely packed, but I feel like in the end I've not done too bad. Managed to do quite a bit. I've done Wicker Man, the Smiler, Rita, Nemesis and Oblivion, so 5 of the big coasters. Don't get me wrong, 8 rides in the whole day isn't great, but yeah, with the crowds I'm happy enough with that. It's not been an awful opening day, it's not been the best opening day either, but yeah, I've not got anything overly bad to say, but there was just a few little issues, and you can tell Alton Towers isn't what it used to be. It's quite sad, to be fair, with what's happening with Merlin now. It just seems it's all cut back a lot, but anyway, that was Alton Towers. I was glad to get back in there, first time in a year. Not sure when I'll be back. Obviously we'll be back to check out Bluey the ride at some point in the spring. But yeah, that's all for this video, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.